Good evening. Just wanted to put this out there. A person who is experienced with the disability process um, wrote an article, and I put it on my blog to share it out to everybody. And he and I played tag a little bit with regard to getting it up and out. So I thank him for his patience because it's been a little busy process over here, and I don't normally post others' articles on my blog, but I'm happy to, particularly when they're useful. And this article by Mr. Don Lewis of AbilityLabs.com was kindly sharing some tips for accessible house hunting. So I'm going to post that below. I'm also going to try to make a link on here somehow so you can just click that if you want towards the end. But just to go through it, he talks about, I'm just going to give you some sum up. For those of you that are looking to do house hunting and despite being disabled, want to maybe own your own home. And he goes through a bunch of things to think about. And I think it's really useful. And I think it was very generous of him to put it out there for everybody. I'm just looking at it right now. I think he's trying to help reduce stress too. If you know certain things that you're going to have to do before you dive into buying a house, it'll make it so much easier when you do, and you might be more satisfied. So he talks about finding the right home, that, you have your own unique requirements, but to remain open-minded. He talks about how everything can be renovated. Obviously, everything depends on money availability, but if you're buying your home, you've probably already thought of that. Is the way I look at it. He talks about buying houses as is, probably because you can save a lot of money on the house, and then you can make those accommodations that you need for accessibility and things like that yourself with the money you saved from the purchase price of the home. And he reminds everybody to, of course, first consult with a lawyer, inspect the property, and examine land records for any red flags. And of course, much of that is true for the rest of us that may not be disabled as well. He points to the fact that many apartments and rental properties are being designed using ADA accommodations. So you can look into those options if that's something you'd prefer to do, particularly if your heart isn't set on owning your own home, he says. What else does he go into? Looking into the crime statistics of the area you're moving into. And by the way, he has links in here to websites and companies that talk about that. So, like, for instance, if I click on the look into crime statistics, it brings me to crimegrade.org. You know, it's funny. I've been looking at sites like that because I'm trying to potentially buy something in a different location than where I'm at. I kind of want to move west a little bit. We've been spending a lot of time in Harrisburg because my husband works there and I've been working there. So it'd be kind of nicer to live closer and not have to drive 2.5 hours. Anyway, so crime stats is a big thing when you're house hunting for anybody, but perhaps in particular to anyone who might feel otherwise kind of vulnerable to the criminal element. He talks about if you're a veteran, you may be eligible for a housing grant, and he has a link there. I'm not going to click on the link, but you can. I'll give you again the link to this article that Don wrote. He talks about how you can explore public housing programs if you have disabilities and subsidized housing, loans for home modifications, etc. So all really important stuff for anyone with the extra challenges of being disabled, but wanting to get into their own home. I think it's great. Then he talks about additional modifications that you might want to add to ensure safe, comfortable living for yourself. Of course, that would be specific to you. He said that some of the remodeling needs will be slightly more expensive, such as if you need to increase the width of doorways, renovate rooms, modify stairs, install chairlifts or ramps, or change materials entirely. He has a link there. I'm not going to click on it, but you can do that. It talks about ways you can add aesthetic appeal, because you still want to like where you are, right? Make it your own. He gives a link for looking into moving companies so you can get all the help you need. So while you can use friends and family to help you move, you can also use moving companies, and might be something that works better for you. Then he's going into investing in a home warranty or insurance. I did click on that link, the first one he has, and it brings you to an article by Bob Villa where he's, citing the actual source that talks about some of the importance of home warranty or insurance. There is a little reference to if you have an HOA, homeowners association, then there's those fees, and you might have to carry HOA insurance. I'm in an HOA. We don't have to carry HOA insurance, but I suppose we're not in a high risk area either. And then he just closes it out about how you want to be prepared, then you want to move, and then you want to enjoy it. So anyway, a lot of good links in there, a lot of good resources, everyone. So if this is something that you're thinking of doing, maybe you've already won your Social Security disability case. Now you have regular income. Maybe you have some back benefits, which you want to invest in your own home instead of paying rent. So many times this can come up. So, and I should add that for SSI people who get back benefits, but you're not allowed to keep them very long, right? Because you don't want to go over your resource limit. I'm always saying buying a house can be one of the best things you can do if it's the house that is within your means of your income after you have the house, right? You have a very limited income with SSI. But if you have a house, maybe it's paid for now, and now you have no rent, no mortgage. You might have some property taxes and of course utilities, but that can really, if you get all that stuff paid down, people on SSI can certainly own a home. And remember, owning a home that you live in is not a resource for SSI purposes. So anyway, this isn't just for Social Security disability people or people who collect benefits at all. It could be for anybody. So anyway, I hope this helps somebody out there. And I want to thank Don Lewis for putting it out there. It's definitely useful, and I appreciate the time you put into it. It's well done. Have a great one.